Okay, so first proper layout video for Beresford Vale. The last video I released was just a bit of a catch-up, showing you where I was in bits of the development of the layout as it stands today. Before that I had a miniature running video, if you will, of the Class 108 there, just going through, going around the track basically to see that it worked. I'm now much happier with this layout. It's all wired up, it all works. I've tested every point and path, it works well. So I thought I would show off a few other things and give you an idea of where I'm headed to. So the layout will be based sort of on the Welsh border. It's called Beresford Vale because it's sort of close to Hereford and also close to the Vale of... Anyway, you get the idea. It's a fictitious layout, not based on anywhere real. The name does take inspiration from some family members of mine, and that's about as close to reality as it gets. It will be based on stuff I've seen on the internet and videos on YouTube that I've seen. Plenty of fun, lots of extra traffic that probably wouldn't exist on a station this size, perhaps. But it's one of those imaginary places where there are several industries just up the line that kind of gather their goods and freight traffic down this yard to then be taken back up off to the main line and destinations beyond. This is now officially part of the Model Rail YouTube group. I am on the map, I am in the directory, I'm very proud of that. So thanks team for adding me in there. I do hope that will motivate me even more to get on with the modelling here and really provide something worth showing off as part of that group. To that end, I will start with some of the new rolling stock. You've all seen the Class 108 because it'll have been on the last couple of videos, and it's in fact in the intro screenshot or the cover photo, if you will, for these layout videos. Obviously, it's chipped. You can tell because there are two locos with the lights on, and neither of them are moving. I do need to still add that to my website for Beresford Vale. I also need to add it to the roster on my control program, which would be handy. However, there wasn't a lot of new rolling stock to talk about. I guess everyone will have heard about the twins from Revolution Trains by now. I've got myself a collection of those. These need weathering. One of them has the rear light fitting. I need to find that, bring that out, and that works. I've tested it. And that's about it for new stock, with the exception then, I guess, of these three, well, these metal carrying wagons. As you can see, I've got one of the BAAs and several of, I think they're SPAs. It was all part of the metal train I've got going, along with the BDAs. So that's now quite a rake. Obviously, in a layout this size, I won't be using all of them. But it'll be nice to have a variety to really mix it up and make it interesting to watch. I have actually however, been doing other work. As you can see here, I have, I think the VDA, and then you've got the polybulk and another VDA. These are in fact weathered. They are weathered by me. I bought myself a spray airbrush and have had a bash at weathering some of my rolling stock. As you can see with the Class 24 behind it, that's also got a little like dusting at the bottom there. Not quite as good as, say, Everard Junction, who's just done a small series on weathering vehicles, and if you are interested, please do check him out. Excellent videos. He models in 00, so my work isn't going to be quite as detailed. But for me, this was like a first start, a first bash at doing some genuine weathering that isn't just powders, because I struggled with the powders to give the kind of correct level of dirt. If I added some kind of wash or a decal fix or spray painted it afterwards, I found that it tended to make it look more muddy than dusty. So I'm hopeful now that the airbrush will actually enable me to do slightly more gentle weathering or give that better dusty effect on some of my wagons. So we'll see how that turns out. I've got a load of there. We've got the cement wagons and also have been done. And if you follow me on Twitter, you'll see that they are on there as well. I've done a couple of rakes of a variety of wagons. So as we are now, this is how I expect Beresford Vale roughly to look. We have some fuel tankers in the background, I guess you could say. The ones at the back, the shell ones, I intend on rustying them up massively. They are going to be, what's the word? Whatever the word is, it might pop up on screen now. But they are condemned is the word I'm looking for. Yes, thank you. Condemned. They are not going to be used state, as you can see there. I bought these second-hand a while ago and they were already damaged then. However, storage and not a lot of use has made them worse. For example, the railings there, which I think kind of look fun if you were to imagine that these in fact were roped off, no longer in use, not allowed to be accessed, and we're just waiting demolition. In the foreground we have slightly newer ones, which perhaps were relevant, relevant to the size of the station. There is a fueling capability in this area, it being the end of the line, and a EMU/DMU storage facility. So instead of repairing the big old ones, maybe BR or whoever decided to build some smaller ones that were up to spec and easy to maintain. Maybe that's the story there. We then have a little yard here with the porter cabin and some wagon vehicles parked outside. This will be the kind of goods yard-esque area. It won't be a massive yard. I imagine most of this part will just be a field of some sort, maybe some horses or something, who knows. We'll work something out for that side. Haven't quite figured out all the scenics. As you can see, yes, we have the fueling thing. At the back here we would have the village scene, town scene. Behind that is the storage yard, so the fiddle yard rather, so that'll be backboarded off. Next to the DMU there will be the station where the parcels building is. That'll be the end, toward the end of the platform, with the cars parked up in front of the thinner part of the platform leading down to the signal box. And that's about as far as the scenics go in terms of what I have for sure. The track obviously leads off around here and will disappear somewhere in here. Scenic break, trees will hide that, hopefully, and make it disappear off into nowhere. However, the roads and stuff may fiddle off through the middle here, and it should become a bit more busy. If you may remember from my earlier videos, I do have a couple of Metcalf buildings to build, including a petrol station and a coaching inn, and I have a ton more Kestrel kits to build, so I'm expecting that the town scene will actually expand out this way quite nicely and give a bit more feel of that the station is in kind of the middle of, or towards the outer edge of a town, and not just, the only thing in the town, to make it seem a bit more worthwhile having a station of this size here. So yeah, I need to build the back scene obviously, and I don't know where to start, because you look at this and you think, well, I could paint it all and then I could add the ballast in, I'd need to put the platform in, and because I'm using a cardboard based platform, I need to work out, am I going to do ballasting first or the platform first? I have a few ideas of how to do the ballasting first and not have the cardboard of the platform like totally soggy up and warp and change colour. So I'll hopefully be able to implement that later. Otherwise, this is it for now, I think. Not an awful lot to say. I would have liked to show off my Dapple Class 142s because I've had West Coast Resprays redo them for me, and he did a marvellous job. They look spectacular. Unfortunately, I have a few technical issues that I'm speaking to Dapple about, and I'll hopefully have more to say on that next time. Also, if you follow me on Twitter, again the link will be in the description, you'll have a lot more granular up-to-date stuff, a couple of pictures now and then of progress and individual bits I'm doing now and then. So if you're really that keen, follow me there. Otherwise, have a good time, look after yourself, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, bye.